Anyway, hey, family, friends, and others, people coming through, coming in, coming over, coming by, hang out with people a little bit. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Okay, look, this is getting my nerves. That sound, people earrings. Let's take a story behind these earrings. So these are little, they're supposed to be heart shaped, right? But there's a little jingle. This part is detached from the main part of the earring, and so it jingles all day. And even though the earrings are cute, I think they're cute. They are smaller than when they looked online. I prefer a bigger earring, and I think if it was like bigger, I think I would like it more. I don't dislike it, but it's not my thing. Right? So anyway, let me see if I can find the mic. My mic sounds nice, check one. My mic sounds nice. Anybody remember that? Let me see if I can find it. One second. I am just getting in from work. I walked home from work, and boy, am I tired. Oh my word. But I did it. I did it. I did it. We did it. Is that from Dora the Explorer? We did it. We did it. We did it. Yay. Okay. As you can see, I braided my hair last week and it's not finished. Surprise, 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 surprise. Yeah. But did that stop me? No. Put it in a top knot or something and kept it moving, kept it pushing, kept it going. Because what we're not about to do is worry and stress over something that, you know, over something that is what it is. So I was writing a little top knot like so. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I didn't work Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I wasn't feeling well. So yeah. So I had to work Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. And I had a little rubber band that popped. And so I ended up doing a braid up the back and then just putting this braid and wrapping it on the top of my head. Right. Now there's a pin in here. I'm using these pins, which are fairly large. And there's one that is sticking me in the top of my head that I am about to, it is really, I haven't been able to get to it all day. Um, Now when you look at it, when you look at the way the hair is up and it's on top of my head, it looks like it's a small, small section that's not done. That is where the smoke and mirrors come in. So, okay, this is Connectalon. This is not human hair. And so it does tangle up a bit. And so yeah, that's that. But I'm trying not to pull on it because I'm trying not to hurt my head. Because I just finished I just recently did it. So the hair my scalp is still tender. Anybody who's had their hair braided knows that this is stressful on the hair, especially when it's first done. So yeah, there's a lot of gray in here because I have a lot of gray hair on my head. When I take it down, you're like, well, damn, girl, you got almost half a head left. It's more like a good third of the hair. Ooh, Lord have mercy, jeez. Maybe get to my scalp. It's a good third of the hair that still needs to be braided, right? Is it going to be braided this week? Is it going to be braided this weekend? Am I going to finish it this weekend? Is that the question on the table? Am I going to finish it this weekend? No, I'm not. I'm not going to finish this. I'm going to do as much as I can. But I got a couple of other things that I want to do. Um, and yeah, but whoo, listen, I haven't done micro braids in a very long time, and I have arthritis, so my hand is also still sore. Um, I have arthritis, and yeah, I won't be doing this again. Mm-mm. If I were after this um, installation comes down, um, if I get micro braids again, it will. I will have someone. I will pay the cost and have someone do it. Now this small, braids this small are very expensive. I have my whole head done that small, and then I have a small spot here. But so I have braids here as well because I have hair there, but not a whole lot, you know. So I have these twists up here. What's going to happen on this side is these two will stay out. I always leave like one or two braids out that I don't do. Um, I don't know why, but I just do that. So yeah. Ooh, Lord have mercy. When I tell you, I'm gonna be putting some oil on this scalp this weekend. This is what I'm dealing with. Oh, 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 there we go. This is what I'm dealing with. My bathroom door all open and carrying on. Listen. Oh, I'm fighting with the equipment. Yeah. So anyway, I gotta take these earrings off because even though they're not large, they're activating. So this is the earring. This is this is the part of the heart, and this is the dangly part, which is supposed to be so cute. Hey, oi, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Listen, let me tell you about this day. Let me tell you about this day. Whew, when I tell you it was long. I take the train to work. Um, this morning, I was almost late. Um, and even though it was not a heavy day, it's not like a lot of people, there was still a lot of work that had to be done. And our air conditioning is not the best. And by that I mean you have something that is in the way. Is that is it's like a I don't know what it is. It looked like a big, huge HVAC system on wheels that's inside, and there's like tubing that runs through the ceiling. It does cool the area. However, it is loud as and um it the sound is constant, and so it feels like something just hitting you in your head all day. That towards the end of the day, when we are you know winding down, and it's like we only got like half an hour or so left left to work, we turn it off. It feels like somebody got off of your head. Like there's a release of pressure from your head. It is crazy. Um, but what can we do? Because it's too hot to be down there without air conditioning. So, um, we gotta deal with it until we can do something else. And yeah, this should have been fixed a long time ago. But listen, nobody asked me, and I'm not in a position to uh, make those changes. You have to go through, this. person and this person and this person and this person and up the chain, and then it stops, and then they forget about it, and then here comes next summer, and we're dealing with the same thing all over again. Do I sound jaded? Do I sound biased? Yes. This summer is not as bad as it was last summer. Last summer, let me tell you, they had us working. You work from home this week, work from around the corner next week, come back the following week, and do some makeshift type of situation. And but they had a it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. So I think I probably should just be grateful. Yeah, my boss is watching. I'm grateful. You know that it is not like it was last year. So I that's the plus. We have to find we need to find the silver lining, right? We need to find the blessing in the situation. And there are many. I'm blessed to have a job. I'm blessed that we have a good team. I'm blessed that there is something that is functioning in the way of an air conditioning, even though it is not ideal. I'm getting rid of this little flat twist in the front. I'm trying to just do some twists until I can get to this situation. This would be a good section to get done this weekend. Um, I'll probably work on it this week. This whole section is not going to get done this weekend. I already know that. That's a couple of hours. I could do it on Sunday, but well, whatever. Anyway, we'll see what happens on Sunday. But I'm gonna um I'm gonna at least put it in some twists, section it off so that this way I'm not dealing with the whole section. I'm only dealing with one twist at a time. See, like these are all flat twists, and I don't know if I want to deal with one flat twist at a time or one twist at a time or whatever. But I'll figure it out. It is what it is. It will be what it motherfucking will be. Anyway, want to come in. I'm gonna do a quick live. I asked old chatty boy, i.e. ChatGPT. I said, give me a list of 10 questions that nobody asked. And I got a philosophical list of questions that I don't know if I want these questions. Yeah, I mean, okay, so let me give you a sampling, smattering of the questions. 10 questions to answer during your life. Uh, what is one life lesson? What is one lesson life had to teach you more than once? What is one lesson that life has had to teach you more than once? Listen, let me count the ways. Is there just one? Is there just one? Um, but the I guess the biggest lesson that I had to learn more than once was trusting myself and not trust, not to put my trust in other people. Trust my gut. Just because someone says, you know, you should do this because this is what I think. I think that you should, uh, you know, do this job, or you're not good enough to do X, Y, and Z. You're not good enough to go to college. You're not smart enough to do this, or you're not talented enough, or you are not athletic enough to do this. Unfortunately, I have listened to that pile of bullshit more times than I care to recollect. When I tell you, a lot of people seem to have an abundance of opinion on how you should live. When you reach back to them and ask them, wait a minute, before you cook my grits, let's talk about your own. And what's your pot of grits look like? The last time I checked, I was burning. But you can't say that because I don't want to hear that. So, so that's the first question. Okay. So here's the second question. I don't even know if I like this question. Here's the second question. What am I becoming in this season of my life? I'm gonna repeat it. What am I becoming in this season of my life? Hmm. I am becoming uh, more of me, and that sparks the question: how could you be more of you? You a big girl, Linda. Yes, yes, I am. I am a big girl. So how could I be more of me? I'm so glad you asked. I'm more sure of who I am. I'm more sure of the things that I want to do, my goals, my dreams, my aspirations. Um, I'm more sure of them without having to get approval from anyone else, without having to run it by this, one, and that. Um, and for a long time, unfortunately, for a long time, I felt like I needed to be, you know, less less me, less aggressive, less assertive, less confident. It had to be smaller because people don't, want you to stand tall in your shoes. Stand up. My back is straight. I'm standing. Listen, if you feel small standing next to me, this is not my problem. This is your problem. Stand up. If you feel small standing next to me, stand up and shut up. Stand up. Put your shoes on. Put your big girl panties on. Put your drawers on. Shut the fuck up. Go do what you gotta do. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Because what I'm doing ain't got nothing to do with you. That's the kids do now. I don't know what that is. What is that? But I can't really say that because back in the day we had a whole neck and thing situation going on that we were very sure of. And now I look back, I think, what was I thinking? What was that? Girl. Ugh. Anyway, so that's the second question. Third question. If I could give my 30-year-old self, okay, I can hear. Can you turn it down? Thank you. If I can give my 30-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? If I can give my 30-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? I don't know. I would get a handle on my weight sooner. I wouldn't let it get to where it is now. I'm sitting at 290 something. I'm sitting at 290 and I've been here for a minute. It's not like a seat I just took. This is a seat I've been sitting in for a hot minute. It don't make any sense. So I would, as soon as I saw that as soon as I noticed that my weight was a problem or it was getting somewhere where my clothes were feeling tight or I was no longer comfortable, my knees were feeling some type of way, I would have, if I had an opportunity, if I could go back, that would be one thing that I would jump on. That would be definitely one of the top three things that I would jump on. Um, what habit has made the biggest difference in my life recently? Recently. I don't know. I'm making. I'm in my transformation mode, so I'm gonna have to put a pen in that question. We're gonna come back to that one because I have no idea. I'm still in the development stages of a couple of habits, so the differences have not uh, made it to the front page just yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. But I will say that I have been saying no lately to friends and to others. No, I'm not available. No, I can't do it. No, I ain't got you. No, no, just no. No is a complete sentence. And oh no, not 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 gonna be able to do it. Uh, and some people take offense to that. Some people feel like, oh, you're being mean, you're being selfish because you're not helping me. But how can I help you if I'm barely able to help me? That's the part that I don't get. You know, when you have done, you know, A, B, C, and D for someone, you have gone above and beyond for that person. You have gone hither and fro for that person. But when you at some point stop and say, listen, I need to attend to me for a minute. And now you're the worst thing walking on two legs. Now you're a horrible person and you don't give a shit about them. They discount everything that you did prior. They discount the times that you put yourself in the back burner and you know did this and that, and you were able to um, make sure that they were okay. Whether it was to um, like for instance, and this is just a hospital situation. I had a friend who was in hospital. She was pregnant, and she had a difficult pregnancy, very difficult pregnancy. She was bed bound. I was working in the health field at the time. I was going back and forth from my job. I was going straight to the hospital. She's no relation to me, but I was there so much that the hospital staff thought I was her sister. I was there to make sure she was okay, make sure she had something to eat other than hospital food, just to give her, be able to talk to her, company. No one wants to be in the bed, with their ass up 24 hours, 20, 22, 23 hours a day, not able to even get out of the bed. You just try to be there for them, change the bed for her, give her a bed bath, this, that, and the third. Not even a full year later, I'm in the hospital having a child. My pregnancy was not difficult, but that doesn't mean it was my first, and I was very scared. And over the course of the 3 months that she was in the hospital for about 3 months. I was there out of the 90 days. I was there at least 70 of those days. You understand what I'm saying? I was in the hospital for 5 days. She came to see me for 15 minutes. And then after I went home with my baby, brand new, did she come to my house? I'm still waiting for her to come to the house to see the baby. The child now 24 years old. So yeah, um, I've learned to say yeah. I learned and I'm not mad at what I did. I did because I did what I did out of love. She had um she had two beautiful children. Beautiful. The first year she had a little girl, gorgeous little girl. I think this girl is like 26, 27 now, 28 something. And then she had a beautiful boy. He is gorgeous, gorgeous young man. I think he's about 24, 20, 22. He's about 22 because he's younger than my son. Um, Beautiful children, beautiful children. I don't um um I'm not mad about anything that I did. I was able to see them, right after them being born. I was able to help their mother while she was having a difficult time. And I just expect it, and that fault is mine, and I take that. You know, I accept that fault is mine, that I expected that someone would care for me as much as I care for them. That's one lesson that I had to learn, that life that I had to learn the hard way, because it took me a minute to realize that just because you care about someone don't mean that they care about you the same way that you care about them. That took a long time. I had to learn. Life had to teach me that lesson more than 2 times, more than 3 times. It took me a long time to realize that just because you care about someone and you express that to them does not mean that they will return that. And they don't feel it, and they don't feel any type of way by telling you to kiss their ass. Literally. Yeah. So that took me a long time to learn. I mean, even up until uh not too recent. I've had a friend that I felt like I did the most, not the most, but I think I stepped up. You know, I did this, that, and the third. But I am but one person, and also was in crisis mode, and I need to care for myself, and I also have my daughter with me, and so I can't be there to do everything for you. I can't. Who If I come to clean your house, who's gonna clean mine? You know what I mean? At some point, I'm like, okay, I can do this, that, and the third, but I can't do everything, and I can't be there all the time. And the pushback I got was, oh, you don't care about me, because if you did, you would come to see me, you would come to do this, and I have a full-time job. I have my daughter with me. I'm I'm trying to survive on the limited funds that my job gives me. Yes, they are limited. My boss is watching. I need a raise. There's a tear. You don't see it. There's a tear. And I'm broke. But anyway, and so all of this extra that you want me to do for you costs me time, costs me energy, and I still have to do for myself. I still have to do for my child. But I'm a horrible person because I'm not going out of my way to make sure that you're okay. Uh, make that make sense. Um, but yeah. So yeah, I've had to learn to realize that people are not going to care for you the way you care for them. That's just that's the truth of it. Okay, here's another question that Chatty brought up. What does success look like for me today, as opposed to um what did as opposed to 25 when I was 25 and when I was 40 and now. So success at 25. Let me tell you, 25 I knew nothing. Um, what is it called? 25 I knew nothing, and I still know nothing. But the difference is that I know nothing. At 25, I didn't know that I didn't know anything. 25, I thought I knew everything. Couldn't tell me squat. Couldn't tell me nothing. I know it all. And I would listen, but with one ear, halfway listen. Now I got both ears open, and I already know I don't know. So what you know? So I can figure out how to get it done. I'm more receptive to information. I'm more receptive to being uh to learning from others. When I was 25, I thought that I could only learn from those who were in a position to teach, as in a professor, teacher, an authoritative figure. Now at 57, I know I can learn from anything, anyone, and I'm open and receptive to that. Okay, so the eighth question. I don't know if I'm going to finish all this. But where we at? 29 minutes. Uh, so the eighth question is, what am I learning to let go of? People, yes. Perfection, yes. Fear, that's difficult. But I'm getting there. Guilt. Hmm. Let me tell you something. Guilt is People will use guilt to control and manipulate you to death. And you're not doing that. Overthinking is also another one. I would I would analyze. It's called analysis paralysis. I would analyze a thing to the nth degree, and then come back to turn it to the back side and analyze it some more. Let me see if I can analyze it from the back. Can I analyze it from the front? Let me see if I can analyze it from the side. Look, and look. Um, Try to get it better. Try to get it the best. Try to make it perfect. And I heard there was a saying that perfection is just a another form of procrastination. Oh, I have a PhD in procrastination, and I'm writing a thesis on let's do it tomorrow. But I'm getting better. I am getting better. Sometimes done is better than getting it perfect. Sometimes it just get it done. Just do it, and then you learn lessons learned from doing it. Lessons learned from getting it done. Lessons learned from the outcome and the result. And then when you go to do it again, you implement those lessons that you learned, and you do it again. You do it again, and then you continue to learn, and it gets better, 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 better. But along the way, it's getting done. Even though it's only moving, it's down here, but it's still moving this way, as opposed to perfection, 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 but it never going anywhere. You just continually just perfecting, 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 but you're not producing any results. You're not producing any nothing. You're doing nothing except just uh, polishing the spoon, but you're not eating. But the spoon pretty as fuck, but you don't get to eat because you end up polishing it to death. You polish the front, you polish the back, you polish all the nooks and the grooves, and polish it some more and polish it some more. Listen, wash the spoon in the damn dove, get the bowl, eat the food. You understand? Oh, please. My analogy is off, but you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, listen again. Rewind. Go back and listen again. Slower. And for two, three more times. I need the views. If I had to start over tomorrow with nothing, listen, I have nothing now. Anyway, if I had to start over tomorrow with nothing but my knowledge, what would I do first? I would save money. I would work. I would live on 25% of my income. I would take the other 25% and start a business. And I would take 25% and start uh, emergency fund. And the last 25% I would invest. Is that do too many 25s? Four, right? Whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah, I would. So 25%. That's what I live on. 25% emergency fund. 25%, um, and invest. I would invest, and the last 25%. I forgot just now. I forgot just that easy. Live on 25. 25 is the 25% emergency fund. 25% invest, and 25% start a business. Yes, that's what I would do if I had to start over. What would you do if you had to start over again? Mm. What am I grateful for that I once, that I once? There is no D at the end of the word once. What am I grateful for that I once prayed for? Mm. Job, job. And let me tell you, for a long time, job is not something that I wanted because I drove for Uber a long time. I stay at home mom for a minute a season, and then I drove Uber for 7 years. So and I had opportunities to have a job while driving for Uber, and I was like, mm, mm, not I just but now I see the value in a steady check. That's not to say that I don't that I'm not I'm not I'm still trying to make money on the side, but I see the value in having a consistent stream of income. Um, and it was also something that I wish I did when I was working a normal job before. I worked as an admin for a season for Sharon Powell, Merck, Lucid Technologies. Those are three of the companies that I've worked for. And do I know how to part? No. I suck at this one. Also, thinning hair is a thing. So enough of that. Anyway, um, I wish I had been more consistent in my entrepreneurial endeavors when I was younger. I used to go to the flea market. I've done that, and I've sold, at flea markets, but not consistently. And then after I got married, it was like it was frowned upon, you know. So, and that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. Okay. Oh, got a bonus question for the chat. What's one thing you're working on becoming before this year is over? What are the things? What is one thing that you have in your to do list, your task list, your um your goal, for lack of a better word? What is it that you're working on that you want to get done this year? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I got something playing in the background, and I don't know why it's playing in the background. Well, the person who's watching that thing's not even here. But anyway, so yeah, we're at 37. Yeah, so I'm gonna go. Y'all have a good one.